of space. Then they do that deorbit burn. Gravity begins to take over. They enter the upper atmosphere, and then hitting the atmosphere, even the thin air up that high at that speed, it generates friction. And so you have this huge plasma trail. They briefly lose contact with the spacecraft. This is all routine, but I'm happy to report that they have gotten communications back, and now they even have video communications, seeing the astronaut inside that SpaceX Dragon capsule, moving about, looking perfectly healthy. And so everything appears to be on target for a splashdown just before 6 o'clock Eastern this evening in the Gulf, off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. What you'll see a few moments before splashdown is we'll see the drogue chutes deploy, followed by the main chutes, and then those main chutes will ease the capsule down to the water at a considerably slower speed. And then in the coming minutes, you'll have teams coming out, stabilizing the capsule, and then loading it onto a recovery ship. And there we go. We see the drogue chutes coming out. So far, everything moving properly. And then from splashdown to the first astronauts coming out, we expect it to take approximately 45 minutes. Back to you.
Next up, we'll stand by for the main deployment of the parachutes. The mains are quite a bit larger. You'll be able to notice the difference on your screen once they deploy, and they continue to ensure that the Dragon spacecraft slows down even further. As we mentioned, Freedom will be traveling 16 miles per hour when it splashes down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida, here at 2:57 p.m. Pacific time this afternoon. And there we go. We have visual on 4 healthy mains.
That view was from inside. That view was from inside one of the buckets where the parachutes are located. So you see a great view there of the reefing on those parachutes. And as those main parachutes begin to inflate fully, 4 beautiful, healthy mains. Now awaiting visuals of splashdown. We'll start to hear Commander Nick Hague.
Copy, 1000.
As we heard right there, Commander Nick Hague will be calling out the altitude of the Dragon capsule from here on out. Landing in water is simpler and provides more margin against unlikely parachute issues. You can see those parachutes continuing to slow the Dragon capsule down.
And if you're just joining us, you're looking at 800 meters, a live view of Crew 9, just minutes away from splashing down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. Splash down 2 minutes from now at 2:57 p.m. Pacific. We do have 4 healthy mains really doing the job there. Just breathtaking views of a calm, glass-like ocean off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida. Crew 9 just minutes away from splashing down.
This is really such an incredible shot. That was
600.
That was a live view from our recovery vessel, Megan, which is stationed a couple miles away from the little splashdown site. We can see the crew there using their restraints as resting places for their arms. They were just in space moments ago, so their arms are able to float freely.
400 meters.
This is a gorgeous bluebird day here that we have for the splashdown of Crew 9. It's incredible to think that the Dragon capsule just minutes ago was going over 17,000 miles per hour, and now gently coasting to a soft splashdown. 200.
Copy, 200 meters. Brace for splashdown.
As you can see there on your screen, continuing to monitor progress of the Dragon spacecraft. And we're going to stand by for splashdown located in the Gulf of America, off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown, crew 9 back on Earth.
Freedom, splashdown. Good man.
Copy splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sunny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
That is an amazing, from whatever I see a capsule full of from ear to ear.
And as you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation of splashdown. Dragon Freedom has returned home and NASA astronauts.
System safety verifications are in progress. We'll report back when recovery personnel are en route.
Well, it was fun to watch history with all of you, and those of you watching at home. The astronauts are back. They spent a record number of days there. Well, they were stranded 286 days total. They didn't hit the record, but for me, that would be a record and quite remarkable to see that. We have 1 minute. Let's take a trip around the table for a couple of thoughts. Judge.
You know, I am always so overwhelmed when I see this kind of thing. And I have to say, thank God for the brilliance of people like Elon Musk. And I'm not being political. I mean, 9 months and they finally made it home because there's a genius who could figure out how to get them back.
Jessica.
Yeah, it's a great moment also for international cooperation within the team that was in there.
Yep.
Love seeing it, and I also love when we get the chance to listen in to what's going on like within NASA when you hear the narration from them and the clapping, and it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
Jesse.
It's certainly humbling, Dana. I had a hard time checking Jesse Jr. into his flight this morning, and this is happening on TV. So it really puts things into perspective.
Certainly does. Greg Bethel.
It's really impressive that the government was able to create this hoax.
Yes, it was all fake.
Yes, it was all fake.
We want to bring in Brett Baer for the continuing coverage of this remarkable historic event. Hi, Brett.
Hey, Dana, amazing, right? And they predicted 5:57, and it goes down during that minute. I mean, if we could be that precise with everything in our life. But you get in that ship, June 5th, and then suddenly 286 days later, it was only supposed to be 9 days. This is going to be amazing to see and hear from these astronauts.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Good to be with you, Brett, and everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're going to listen in as they continue to check in
Protection system
after
did its
splashdown.
job. Now, if you're wondering what that whole